after 9. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We have a quorum.
Do you have a quorum?
Excellent. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. This morning, I hope to keep this brief, but we do have a few things we need to talk about, and Nancy has stuff to talk to us about. So we're going to do the treasurer's report. No, we better approve the minutes, don't you think? Let's approve the minutes first from the last time.
I move to accept the minutes.
Okay. Eleanor, are you okay with that? Yeah, okay. And now we'll go on to the treasurer's report, please.
All righty. Well, the report that was sent out is preliminary, as it says at the top. At the end of any fiscal year, the town makes accounting adjustments, specifically payroll accounting adjustments for the end of this year will be applicable. So that and they finish it up by the end of July. So our next meeting, we will have the final report. But the report as it stands shows that we have an unexpended general fund balance of $19,976. The payroll accrual will bring it down. Any other adjustments, I'm not sure what they might be, but we never expect many. Prior to that, our total expenses for the month of June were $24,801, which is right in line with our average of $25,000. And as we have been expecting all year, the largest unexpected balance in the line items is van driver expense. Moving on to the grants, we did receive the formula grant during the month of June. It's reflected there. The next payment to be received on ARPA isn't due until September. So even though we have 10,000 reflected there as the total ARPA grant, which does cover the period from March 21 to March 24, we have received $4,284 of that total 10,000. The remainder to be received twice a year in March and September through March of 24. Expenses and the grants were at 17,000. I'm sorry, in total, 17,397. Of that, ARPA is 5,548, and the formula grant is 11,849, most of which represents NETI's payroll for our NISC accreditation program. Under the revolving fund, we're finishing up the year at this point with a loss of 7,209 and a fund balance of 16,137. Gift accounts balance is 63,303. Unrestricted is 34,954. Our revenue of 5,025 and expenses of 1,849 during the month of June are primarily related to the social worker payroll. Any questions, comments?
Thank you. Anybody else have a question?
Have you met with the or who the new finance director is going to be? Because I know that we had a high balance in our rotating account, and now the revolving account, and now we have a negative balance of 7,000. Is there a plan to try and even that out?
Well, right now the negative 7,000 is just for the year's activities. The primary part of that is a couple of bills that came in that related to fiscal 21. And remember, we gave away the free food during the month of March. So there's reasons for that 7,000. Otherwise, in exercise is a program losing. That is going to be addressed. Nancy and Diana have their meeting, and they're looking at the programming to see that it's not generated by programming. I've not met with the new person. I don't know if Nancy has had an opportunity to. I feel badly that Don has moved on because he was a good friend to CEA. And we're going to miss. But yeah, so.
As of now, there has not been the town has not hired another chief financial officer. So we're waiting to see. I heard that they hired a company to to look into hiring somebody, but I'm not quite sure where that stands.
I also heard that Paula Lahane has resigned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which she's been around for a while. Yeah. I mean, I had heard that. I don't say you heard it from me, but
Too late.
On Zoom.
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Make a motion to accept treasurer's report.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Okay, Madam,
Okay, director's report. So if you haven't noticed, when you came into the building, we have a new coffee machine. We put up a new coffee station. So we're trying to make it more welcoming. We want people to grab a cup of coffee. We're going to have, we have a nice, I don't know if we put anything in it as of today, but we're going to have cookies and little munchies so people can feel free to help themselves, grab a cup of coffee, take a little pastry or cookie. Launch is going to be making us extra cookies. And we've got Sunrise, who is also going to be baking cookies for us, and we'll be putting them in there on a regular basis. So I just want it to be a place where people can relax, chat with their friends, have a cup of coffee, and not feel like they have to rush out of here. So we'll see how that progresses, but I'm looking forward to that new addition. I wanted everyone to know, so Stephanie Saunders is still our social worker, but she is going to be here Tuesday and Thursdays working out of Wilcott Commons. The rest of the week, she's really better serviced through her cell phone. So if you call CEA, you'll get, if this, welcome to, thank you for calling Cohasset Elder Affairs. If this is for Stephanie Saunders, the social worker, please press 1. It will go straight to her voicemail. And for any other business, please press 2. Then it will come to us and we will pick it up as we always have. Just so that all her calls, they are all confidential. They're usually crisis situations. Everything should be going to her directly. So that's a new initiative, and I think that will really work out a little bit better for everyone involved. So,
How many cases does she work?
it really varies. She's got, right now, she's got 4 very involved cases. But if once those are resolved, hopefully resolved, she'll be picking up things as they come up. So,
What, with the 4 cases, what did we used to do before her?
without having her. So that's the good question. The question is, we used to do a lot of referring. If they were protective service cases, we would refer to South Shore Elder Services, their protective service division. We've been finding that they're not following up on any of the referrals that we make to them. Yeah, a really big problem over there.
That's sad.
So, and then it gets bounced back to us because we can't just ignore the fact that, you know, the person is in need or there's a crisis. So, so that is a majority of the cases she's following up on and she's dealing with. She also, she has a small grant with the police department, and she does some under 60 cases as well through them. So there's a couple in there of that. So it varies every week, but right now they're really difficult ones.
but we pay just for the seniors.
We only pay for, right, the portion that she gets covered under the grant through social services is strictly seniors. And then she has 3 hours a week totally, she can focus on under 60 if it's needed because of the police grant.
So the protective services, if you want, I'll speak to that for 10 seconds. I work really closely with them. And unfortunately, if an elder is found to have capacity to make their own bad decisions, social services does not open the file. Therefore, a social worker.
Who determines that?
They do.
They do. And if there's any question of an elder or a person, but I only know about elders, having capacity, they will rarely hire a neuropsychiatrist and do a full battery of testing. I've seen it happen twice as social elder services. The problem is everything in the middle and all the referrals that are people who are, you know, empty refrigerator, unclean, not paying their bills, having a variety of problems, which have gotten worse. And the social worker is really quite busy, I'm guessing, I have no knowledge, with all these people who are making really bad choices. Whether they even have money or not is not even the factor. It's how they're choosing to care for
Yeah.
themselves. And so a social worker can keep very busy and social elders has no interest unless they're demented. They'll get involved if there's
Clear.
clear.
I deliver Meals on Wheels and I see a lot of people who clearly are in need of help, but that, you know, even when you talk to them, that, you know, yeah, I will when I need to, but I don't need to.
Yeah.
Something is, they're not turning on air conditioning.
Yeah.
They're not turning on heat. They're not buying food. They have crazy arrangements with other people
Yeah.
where they're sacrificing their meals, SNAP benefits. It's everything. That's just so simple, but not simple to
It
do.
is, it's hard to see.
And if they
And what
don't
you
have
do- I
like
don't know.
children or something that are kind of keeping an eye on them.
Well, these same people aren't really great at relationship maintaining.
Yeah,
And that is where the families often get lost, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a multitude of problems and the dynamics, family dynamics play a role. People, a lot of older adults as well, they could be estranged from the family members. So lots of things play into it. But so there is a problem and a lot of it is falling on her. So we're just happy that we have someone to kind of look out for the people. Sometimes there's just no answers and that's the hardest part of all.
Yep.
But, so moving on, in case you are shopping and you want to pick up a bouquet, Stop and Shop, once again, is sponsoring all of the proceeds from their Blooming for Good for August is coming to the CEA. They have done it twice before. In September of 2021, we received $107, and in May, it was $35. So hopefully in August, we'll get more. I think sometimes people get that when they purchase a bouquet, every Blooming for Good, it comes back to us $1 for each of them. So hopefully we can get a little bit more than the 35 in May. Last but not least, John Devaney has resigned, and so we are looking for a new van driver. So put the word out. If anybody knows of anybody who may be interested in a part-time job, we are looking.
what does part-time consist of?
He does anywhere from, or this position would be like 10 to 15 hours a week.
What does that job pay?
Well, that's the thing. It was paying, I believe it was like $15.97, but I just put in a request to the town manager and HR, if we could get that bumped up to at least minimum of $17 an hour. So that's what we're looking for. I'm hoping they will match that or maybe do better.
I saw it advertised, and I think they put a salary of 1906.
When did you see it advertised? Because as of Friday, it was not advertised.
I don't know, one of my, I don't know.
But for us here,
Yeah,
for recent.
Yeah, and it was advertised twice. And one time it was 1906, which I thought was a very odd figure.
Good
Right.
year?
I will look into that, but that would be great. That means they, because I did let them know for comparison purposes, Hingham was hiring within the last 3 months and they had a starting salary of 19. So that perhaps is why they decided to go up to 19, but unless I've got something since Friday, I don't know about it right now. I also wanted everybody to know, we last month, June, we had 344 individuals that we serviced here at Elder Affairs. And by far, we have the most coming for exercise classes, lunches, manicures, anything that we put under our wellness. And that seems to be the biggest draw. We also transported for the month 40 different individuals for 183 rides. So we're starting to pick up new riders. They go in more places, so slowly but surely.
How are you doing with the farmer's market chits?
They're being passed out by Stephanie and Diane, depending on what the situation is, the need for them. And as far as I know with Eleanor, we just actually, Richard kindly used one of the farmers market coupons and bought some bread. One of our seniors could not stand in line, so we just ran over and grabbed it. And they were able to use, it's $25 we give people, and it was $24 for 3 loaves, which he was very happy to receive. But people are very thankful. They're very,
Are you able to see the coupons you give out and those that are used?
Well, that's the thing. They go to Eleanor and then Eleanor is going to invoice us. So I don't know how many you're
So
getting
we're
back.
up over $100 at this point.
Great. Okay, so people are spending it.
And that's where you have the small ones too, $2.50.
$5.
$5.
We have $5. South Shore Elder Services also does a farmer's market coupon. That could be used at any farmer's market that accepts them. In Massachusetts, ours are just for the Cohasset Farmers Market, and only for our vulnerable seniors. But the ones from South Shore Elder Services that do come out every summer, they haven't gone out yet. I think that's at the end of the month. They will be getting those, and we'll give those to any individual that meets a financial threshold.
Do we have to report back to the grant people, the $10,000 as far as the usage?
Exactly.
And how's that going? Everybody's happy?
Yeah, everybody's happy. We're giving them full reporting. I give them every month.
Good. Good.
The questions?
Anything else?
I don't.
Oh, okay. As was mentioned at the meeting last month when I wasn't here, and then mid-time, and today. And everybody was told to do their homework, figure out what we elect once a year and need to do is for being the chair. The others, we wait till September, the other positions. So who wants to be chairman next year?
That's not the way we do it. Can I take over?
Of course you can
Okay.
take over. I was hoping you
All
would.
right. We're going to take nominations for chairman. We'll take 3 requests for nominations. If you're nominated, I'll ask you if you accept the nomination, and if you're elected, will you serve? And then we'll go through a vote after that. So if we can start, but do we have any nominations for chairman? That was quick.
Come on, guys.
Do we?
Is everybody on? Is Paul back on or did he get off?
Paul is here. He was just his.
Yeah, I just was turning it
Okay.
off so you didn't hear the airport.
Okay, I'm asking for the first any nominations for chairman?
I'd like to nominate Tana Carlson for chairman.
Tana, will you accept the nomination?
Heavy sigh.
Is anybody sure they don't want to do this?
Jim Carpenter.
Oh, Jim signing in?
Jim is signing in.
Okay, yes, I accept. I will serve. But I have to say that I have run into some health issues and that I've been wrestling with. Nothing that's gonna make me die or anything. But I've spent more and more time on that. So I'm thinking that maybe we could, and I'll suggest it as we go ahead into the fall, that we have certain projects, certain things be done by specific people, like we have Diana from time to time, and that would help. If I can't be here, and we only meet once a month, I really don't want the rhythm to, or the momentum to break off. So that's my feeling. But if at any time anybody would like to do it, feel free to say something. And thank you very much. Paul, thank you.
Do we have any other
Hello.
nominations for chairman?
Hi, how are you?
I'd like to register my presence, if I may.
Okay.
Jim Carpenter, can you see me, hear me?
No,
Jim,
we
here,
can
you
hear
have to start your, video, Jim.
For some reason, I'm having difficulty doing that.
Okay,
We can't hear you though.
yep.
Okay, so
Can you
I'm
see
here.
us?
I can see you, but I can't see myself on the,
Yeah.
on the monitor here.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good. Good. So we're doing our election now.
Right.
Go ahead.
We have one nomination on the table, that's Tana. And I'll ask again, are there any nominations for chairman? Okay, that's 3 times. Nominations are closed. Since we have only one candidate, I'll ask the secretary to take a vote in favor of Tana as our chairman again
I
next year.
agree. I agree.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Agree.
Agree.
I agree.
Yes, by all
Yes.
means.
Agree.
All those in favor?
Oh, we don't have,
Oh, okay.
we only had one candidate, so.
By acclamation.
So we done?
By acclamation.
Yeah.
Yep, Tana's the
Thank
new
you.
chairman. Again.
Okay. It just as a point of clarification, we don't vote on anyone else in September. This is the only vote we take a year, unless there's a vacancy.
Right, that's what I meant. We can change
Okay,
positions
yeah.
of the other ones. I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Is Diana still going to be your junior?
I hope so. I hope she will. I have not discussed it with her. She's had a lot going on. So
Yeah, all the positions stay where they are unless somebody resigns and then they get filled. We have a subcommittee for board selection. That's in our bylaws, so unless somebody resigns, everyone usually stays in the position they're in, unless they don't want to. Then we would vote for at whenever time that vacancy occurs.
Yeah. I have, as you know, I've had my health issues. I would like to continue. I'm progressing.
Right.
And I'm trying to get my video to work here. But I would like to continue if you don't mind.
Jim,
There he is.
were you somebody that had to reapply because of your status? Not your status, your,
There he is.
there he is. Hi.
Here
we
I
can
go.
see
I'm
you.
sorry.
Jim,
Yeah. I'm sorry, say that again?
There were 3 people that needed to refresh their membership with town hall, paperwork and everything that Diana sent. Has that been done? Can we help you get that done?
I don't think that I was,
The
unless.
term was not up, right?
I don't think my term was up.
Oh,
mine
So,
was, and
yes.
I did submit I reapplied. I have not heard yet, but
Excellent.
I was one. I thought there were 2 of us. I don't recall
I
the
did
other.
as well.
I think I
I
did
did
it
as
last
well.
year.
There's three.
3?
There's three every year.
Oh,
that
of
are up.
course, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we received an email from Tracy Connors because everyone, their terms would have expired throughout the town on June 30th. She
Right.
said that the selectmen have extended it through July so people could still have meetings, even though their terms expired. And that the selectmen would be reappointing and appointing people as soon as tomorrow, July 12th, and then the following week, Tuesday meeting.
Okay, so if you guys have done it, that sounds great.
Well, I guess I would ask that if anybody is writing hurt on this, they inform me that if my term is expired, I'd like to re-up, if you will.
Okay. Okay, we have, that we can find out. Okay, thank you so much. What happened to your beard?
My beard?
Your beard,
Long
Oh.
gone, long gone.
obviously haven't seen you in a
Well, that
long
is some
time.
health issues.
Good to see you, Jim.
Yes, likewise.
Do we know who the 3 people are?
Well,
I was one.
one, and Elaine was one, and I
Mhm.
thought one more. Are they in the notes from
So
last?
we would have gotten notices. I got a note, I'm on affordable housing. I did get something about that, but yeah, I thought so. So I can't.
I feel like I did paperwork last year,
Maybe we did.
but I don't.
Hmm. I did not get a note from Tracy.
No, it was Diana. It came to me and then I sent it off to Diana because she's doing it for the first time.
I didn't get anything on that. I don't,
You didn't get anything from Diana?
she told me at the last meeting.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the town clerk does not notify anyone that their term is up.
Okay,
It's up, it's up to the individual boards and committees.
yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. So I assume we'll be okay. All right, I think we'll move on from that. You'll be voting.
Mhm.
The other thing that I had on here was membership. We have a situation, Sue Reagan has been on our board, but she has not been to meetings and has asked to remain on the board, which is great because when she can come, she is a great asset.
Mhm.
But because of the voting status from time to time, she's going to step back to a non-voting status. So that, but since we now have it on, everything's gonna be hybrid now. Hopefully she'll get more meetings with us. Thank you. And I have to run that by town hall. I just made an executive decision about that and, I'll have to go.
So here's the process for that, Tana. She would resign as a board member,
Okay,
and then she would have to fill out an application for an associate member. And we would take the associate member and have the selectmen approve them as a voting member.
okay. Okay,
That's how it would go. Yep.
so Sue, you're gonna have to do that. Okay?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
so
So we get an email from Sue that states she's going to resign as a voting board member
Yeah.
and would like to apply as an associate member,
Right.
non-voting. And then who's ever a non-voting member right now, we would elevate them to the voting member, and it was usually based on first come, first served. So who's ever been a non-voting for the longest would be elevated to the next voting.
Right,
And an application would have to be, and an application would have to be filled out for that. So then the selectman would vote for that person.
okay, thank you. Now, you two are on the list, but we also have a third one, don't we?
Jim Murphy, Elizabeth Tarpey, and Sarah Livermore are currently designated as associate members.
Yes. And you've been on longer than those two, I think.
Have I?
No, I don't think so.
I don't-
It's the other way around.
Oh,
we're all, oh, we're staring. Beth and I joined the same
So
day.
Jim's already, oh, wait, no, I'm looking wrong one.
I remember when you joined, so
Murphy, just Murphy.
I was pleased to have you. It was a good, but I think it was after me.
I don't know when Jim,
So I think we should.
I could use the extra money, really. if I-
yes, me too. That's why I do this.
Take it.
Given my poor.
We can
attendance,
certainly confirm it with town hall by the next meeting if we need to confirm who
Sorry.
would be in seniority status in terms of associate members. I can call Tracy and confirm it with her today.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you. And then you guys would,
Well, if you guys came the same day, how do we decide that?
I would love to, Beth, please.
Pardon me?
I don't
It's like
attend
a
often
it's like-
enough, so I think it should be Beth.
It's like a horse race. You go by the time they check in.
Yeah.
flip a coin. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think you have to figure out where Jim fits. And yeah, I'm happy to do it. Pending, like if Jim needs, or.
I'll confirm it with Tracy. I'll notify Tanner and Nancy and the board membership.
Okay, thank you. That'll be great.
so that, so that I understand, I'm sending you an email resigning as a voting member and wishing to reapply as an associate member.
Yes.
And then you will contact the town and they will
Yes.
send, okay. They'll
Yes.
send me the application process.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Jim, where do you stand in all this? But you're already a voting member.
I'm a voting member. As a,
Yeah, okay. Because we had a bunch over a couple of years, just a couple of years put together, so just want to make sure.
I know we do. Pretty sure we did. You're right.
Okay, shall we move on, or do you still want to continue? Does everybody understand?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys have to say.
You have to arm wrestle.
Yeah.
And we're gonna duke it out over
Didn't they
that.
just do that? I thought they just.
I'll sell
Meets both.
I'm
Did
not
you
in this.
decide you want to stay
I'm
an
low man on the
associate?
pole.
I would prefer to, if there's a decision that we're facing, I'd prefer to stay associate because I work and I'm sadly missing many meetings. So it might make more sense if Beth would prefer to be voting.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay,
Okay. Got it.
I'm sure they were both here before Jim, so,
Oh, okay.
That's why I
can't
wanted to-
remember.
Oh, you remember?
yeah, so that's why I was trying to decide here. That's great.
So then do I apply as a voting person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
An
You have
email?
to-
Well,
no,
I don't
uh, With the town?
I don't
Or
think
they
so.
I just move up.
no, you don't just, oh, no, we, we never just, we have a lot of steps to go.
You gotta buy
Okay, I'll
the
have to remember that.
ceremony.
And then the
common.
handshake.
Yeah.
Governor
And the
will be
boots, need the boots.
Rich will teach you
governor
the
will be
handshake.
All right, well, this will all figure itself out. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. As soon as Richard gets back to me, I'll get back to you as to the status of,
Okay.
okay? All right.
Get the secret handshake.
And if you could send her the form, because it's a royal hassle to try to find a form.
I
With
think
the
that
town.
we got there's a link on the town.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have it online and they actually require you to fill it out online.
Yeah.
And when they ask you about the ethics, you have to make a call before, you have to say the date that the ethics exam was last passed.
I think we're
So
all.
Or take it again.
Call Tracy to get that date.
No,
Or just take it
It's
again.
the
It's
town
just
clerk,
easy
but
enough.
they said, I talked to the town clerk because when I was re-upping for affordable housing and called her and she said, yeah, you're expired, which I swore I did, but I guess it was 2 years ago. She said they're sending out notices at the end of July to everybody that needs to do their ethics.
Oh,
Yeah.
Process of figuring that out. And she just took over, so she's kind of.
Yeah, she.
Oh, I know, I know.
She's
unsure.
actually here today, gonna be here today talking to people. At Kevin.
Okay, I had some things I wanted to talk, does anybody else have anything about this?
About what?
The membership,
Oh,
that kind of stuff. Are we all set? Okay, so I have a couple things that I wanted to talk about regarding going forward. We don't meet in August, and we'll be back in September. And I'm wondering how we're doing with the survey, the certification, Nancy, and is there anything else we need to do at this point? We haven't done very much. I mean, we had input at first, which was great. Is there anything else we're gonna be needing to do?
So I will have Nettie, she and I were working on the age, the dementia-friendly Cohasset, because that did need to get in pretty timely. So she kind of suspended working on the accreditation until we got that resolved, and I think that is going to be all set. I will present that to you guys before we present it to the select board. But I will have her come in September, the September meeting, and just let everybody know where she is with the accreditation, if that sounds good.
Great. Is there anything else people are?
yeah, I had a question, I think, for Paul. Is he still here?
He is, he's just off camera right now.
Where are we on the grant and everything for the van? Is that still progressing, or are we done as far as we can go?
We have done
Yeah,
a grant.
it's all in. Nancy's got the grant filed and they don't make a decision till November or December.
And it has to go through town meeting again? Or no?
This is a grant from the state. So if awarded, then we'll automatically get the van through whatever process they require. the town already allocated our 20% deposit.
And we're staying away from the electric van, right? We're going to stick with the traditional?
Correct.
Okay, good.
That was a decision that we ran past the town to begin with. Our van was like $80,000, Nancy, and I think the electric van was 100 something.
Yeah, I think closer to 200,000. It was
So
really,
200,000, yeah.
yeah, really ridiculous.
Have a jacuzzi?
Then you'd be the van driver.
Yeah.
How does this work?
Rethinking that.
Funny.
No, that's great. Thank you.
Anything else? Anybody else have anything in their mind that they'd like to delve into? Come
Yeah,
forward?
I was unable to be here last month, but I understand somebody came from the town hall to talk about the progress being made on the website. I couldn't get a hold of anybody over there to find more info.
It was the library.
It's Megan at the library.
And what did she have to
Library
say about our progress?
She thinks that, and then I spoke with her again after about something else, but she thinks that the town's finally in good shape and getting this ready to launch. So you
She
can call
talked
her
about
at the
September.
library. It's Megan James.
Did she have an idea about when we might
September.
expect, September, we
Yeah, I
could
think
expect
they
to see
think by
a?
the end of the summer. Yeah.
Okay, great. I contacted Megan Shore, the publisher of On the Rocks, and I suggested to her that they consider doing a piece in advance of the new website that might put a spotlight on the senior center. And I suggested we maybe do some interviews with people who wanted to talk about their experiences here, get some pictures and do something that would be like a good half page or something there. And she agreed to do it.
Okay.
And she said to let her know when it would be appropriate. So it sounds like maybe we ought to jump on that right away if we're expecting that to happen in September.
I have an update that publication is now only online.
Oh,
it
really?
is? They're
Oh,
not
they
mailing
stopped
it
printing.
anymore?
They stopped printing this week.
I
And-
saw
They
changed
something
their
about that and
name,
they
too.
changed the
Then they
name.
changed
Right,
the name.
I knew about the name change.
And then I tried to find it online because I wanted to read it. This current episode is about
The
the folks
Doctor's
on
Island.
Doctor's Island, and I couldn't find the
Crap.
episode.
Oh, that's
I
too
couldn't. I
bad.
went to their website, I went here and there, and I wanted to read more and I couldn't succeed.
Mm.
If I was
That's
doing
too
it
bad.
wrong or if it's not out yet.
So what is the name
Good
change?
idea. though.
Sarah, I
Uh,
think they said when I was reading the Facebook stuff that it wasn't out yet, it's coming out in
Oh,
July. So that
Good.
might
The
be-
name is
What was the
something.
name?
Do you remember the new name?
It's on 143 if you go on Cohasset.
It's on
143.
143.
People were-
Cohasset
It's on Cohasset 143.
Maritime?
No,
Coastal,
something like
some-
shore something.
I don't think Cohasset was part of the title.
Okay.
It was one.
No,
word,
I don't
whatever
think
it was.
Cohasset was in the title.
Maybe it's just rocks.
No, no. Something with shore, I think.
I feel like we're on the
It was
rocks.
kind of generic. I don't
Yeah.
recall.
Well, okay,
Sorry.
It was a
Swing and a
good
miss.
idea. It was a good idea.
Thanks, Jim.
yeah.
That's a great idea. We still could,
Well, I thought it would be worthwhile because it's a paper publication that everybody got in the mail. So even among older folks who may not be online or may not be computer savvy, they would have gotten a look at something that might have brought them to the website.
makes
But-
sense.
Oh, well.
Hey, Jim, we may want to take a look at, we can always do a town-wide mailing just on the senior center and programs for, something to kick off in the fall. So we can see how much that would cost from the rec sends out their booklet, like, every quarter or twice a year. So we can maybe
Oh,
do
there's
something like that.
Scroll. That's
There it is. Thank you, Sue.
Yep,
I guess
Yeah.
I got.
Yeah, so we could do something of our own, a direct
That's what I
mailing.
was thinking of, like.
Yeah, we can.
So it may
I
still
don't
be
think
worthwhile to,
Let's be
Back
careful.
when we were trying to build this building, I believe Social Service League provided, Richie found some old information, that
we
had.
saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
that kind of information that we could do that and send something out to the masses.
What's your concern, Rich?
My concern is that we tout this webpage before we even use it. In the past, we've been disappointed, right? So I don't think that's something we want to advertise until
Well, no,
we've seen it.
that's the purpose of this webpage, is because what we've had in the past has been so poor. This is a dedicated, just for senior center webpage. This is not part of the town's page. That's what we're using right now. The town website
Right.
has a link on it to some things that are,
But what I'm saying is, I don't
Terrible.
think we should advertise this until we get a chance to see it and use it.
you're
I mean-
anticipating disaster.
Yes, of course I
Are you?
am. Yeah,
Oh.
this town has never done it.
I have
I
to
mean,
You
say,
may be
Richard,
right, I don't know.
No, I don't think we want to promote this until we're comfortable with it.
Huh.
Sorry.
Yeah, Paul.
And we can promote the other photographs and stuff I think are great.
Paul Kears, what's your opinion on this?
Well, the town's doing that. I would agree with Rich that we should probably wait till it's up and running and we have an opportunity to click on all of the tabs so we know that everything is right before we, send out some sort of press release. So it wouldn't hurt if we get the first month, if it comes up in September, we try it out. It's great. We can do a mailing in October,
Okay.
or mailing in November, whatever we want to do, and kind of get the word out. You can also put something up on Facebook if you want to say, hey, come check out our new website, our new schedule, that kind of thing, before we do a townwide mailing.
Good. Thank you.
I can certainly reach out to Megan and find out what their status is of rolling out the website. Normally, when you're building a website, you do like your base website first, then you kind of tinker around with it, see where the bugs are. Then you would do like a beta version, tinker around with that, ask people to take a look at it. But it's not like advertised, or they kind of like park it on the web somewhere where you really can't find it. They do like a weird address. It wouldn't be like Cohasset Elder Affairs. It would be like xyz123.com or something like that. So that way people aren't necessarily going to be able to find it readily if they did like a Google search or something like that. And then what you do is you see it live, or as live as they can make it, before it then would go public. So if we have at least assurances from Megan and the IT team on that side about what their plan is,
We'll be able to see this before it's.
we might be able to take a look at it.
Well, I had a meeting that was scheduled on Thursday with the IT and the new web designer, and that was canceled. I'm sure it was because there was too many people out last week. So I'm waiting for that to get rescheduled, and then we'll be able to get a better idea of whether or not September is truly the date, or whether or not it's being pushed off, or for whatever their answer is. So
When that
I
gets
think
rescheduled, would it be possible for me to be in on that as well?
I can certainly ask them.
I'd like to be able to hear what they have to say.
Okay.
Anything else? I'm in favor of holding off just a little bit
Sure.
to do this so it can be reviewed and to make sure that it works. People get very frustrated
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, and, just to have them say, oh, one more time, forget it. It's like me and my printer.
Well, the other thing I think we're gonna have to decide or agree on is keeping the content up to date.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a problem with websites.
Yes.
And I think it needs to be somebody's duty, like you were saying, you wanted to split up some of the
Right, right.
responsibilities. To make sure that that happens, because that's another thing that kills me. You hit a website and it's old
Right.
information, especially Cohasset. You
Really,
hit
yes,
Cohasset town
yes.
website and you got stuff from
Terrible.
5 years ago. You
Yeah.
don't know what's valid anymore. But I think we got to go out of our way to make sure that this is something respectable
Yeah.
that we can maintain.
Well, we're going to have a plan that Richard will be in charge of updating and editing on a regular basis. So we have full control over it, so it won't be sending it off to somebody else and wait until they have a chance to do it. We'll be able to do real-time updates, so it should not be
Maybe we could add to this meeting monthly where we look at it, online or something like we've got set up here, where we can go through, hit a couple of buttons, see what it says, just so that we're in constant review of it. Because if we
Well,
talk to
any
people,
member of the board should, I think that's a great idea. You should always be going on it anyway. I mean, once we have it up and running, and then if you see that it's something that looks like,
Yeah.
it could be something that we didn't catch, but then by all means, send it our way. But I don't know if we.
I think I'd like to review it as a group. The board.
I think we should, once it's going to happen, we should, do it as part of our meeting. I mean, that will be, so, that's my
Yeah.
feeling.
I mean, I think we get an awful lot of cross information and synergy together rather than doing it individually, so.
Yeah, Ron Menard keeps, I'm assuming he's still head of IT. Is that true, Rich?
Yes, it is.
He keeps his head down. You know, he keeps his, he doesn't do a lot of liaison, I believe. But it'd be interesting to understand from somebody at his level how things are moving forward town-wise. I don't know whether we could get him on, you know, talk to us about what the plans are and ultimately what Chris Senior's plans are. I know that one of the things that Chris intimated was that the new website will be fresh and up and more up to date. So I don't know how we could engineer that. So that's my thought.
Thank you. Yeah, I think once they're ready, we have to go asking for all the information and make sure we're in on it. So we have to keep up with that. Nancy will keep us informed. She goes to all those meetings, as does Richard. So we'll hold them both to task. Anything else about computers or information? Anything? Okay. Does anybody have any ideas of other things you'd like to see going on here at the senior center? Just generally?
I think there's great activities, and I've run into people all the time that love coming to yoga, love coming to the different exercises.
Yeah.
So the meditation, someone was telling me how amazing that was. I said, oh, it sounds like I need to go to that. That Amy does. Yeah.
Yeah, I thank you, Beth. I think that we're getting fabulous feedback. We've been doing surveys at the end of a lot of the workshops and the classes, and very rarely, if they do say anything, it's more like add another class. And if we could make sure that we had enough class participants, we could let you do that, but that might be in the making. But generally every survey that comes back, everyone's very happy with staff, they're very happy with the instructors, they're very happy with the price. I mean, we really are, I think, doing a really good job of meeting the needs of what everybody's expecting. And we'll continue to provide more and look for more ways to get more attendance.
Yeah, I just think it's, again, like we keep talking about trying to get the word out. Sometimes I run into people that was mentioned Wilcott and Elder, and they're like, oh, now what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big thing, is figuring
There's
out a
plenty
way.
going on here. It's a
Yes.
question of getting people in here to
Once they
take
come in the
advantage
door,
of it.
there's.
That's why your idea, the photographs and stuff, I think
Yeah.
is terrific.
But I do think a mailing can be, to the whole town, can be very effective. You know, I do a whole town mailing, not just targeted, because we do it for the library appeal, the Friends, and
Mhm.
we get a great response from it. I mean, people will pay attention, and it'll open up maybe some younger people are like, oh, I should get my mom to go there. or
Exactly,
something,
yep.
you know.
Judging by how many homes have sold, there's gotta be a lot of new people in town.
There's tons of
And-
new families.
And we have so many children on our street, but perhaps the grandparents might be staying here for extended periods of time and have interest. So there's a lot of opportunity,
Yeah.
I suspect. And I thank you, because
And it's
programming
not-
has been
Yeah.
a lot of work, and I thank you
Yeah.
for everything. It's been
That's great.
very fresh.
Are there programs at other centers that we would like to? I've never been to another center other than a meeting. I
Well,
mean, I heard woodworking is popular in Marshfield, but I just don't know how they do it.
yeah, I don't know, and they do it down in Plymouth too.
Oh,
I don't know how it goes. But I don't know. There's I have a friend who lives on west of Boston, and her husband, they're both very involved in the activities in the Natick Senior Center. And he's picked up the ukulele and he used to sing in college and stuff. And so there's a men's singing group there. There's all this, all that kind of stuff. And then they play at old people's homes, he said. When they get, but you have to have the instructor and that kind, but they had a very dedicated group of people to do that. That
What
was,
town is that?
and they live in Natick, but they also go to the one in Wellesley, right next
See,
door.
those are also much bigger towns.
Oh, of course, they're much
We're
bigger.
still again.
Yep.
catering.
No, I
It's a Very
know.
small quirky community.
Yeah.
I just kind
I have one suggestion.
sure.
And then I have to go, and I wanted to wish you all a happy rest of summer. But what would you think? There are a lot of grandparents that are taking care of their little ones, of their grandchildren. Would you ever have like coffee and juice for them? I don't know the implications as far as ages and COVID careful and so forth, but just a thought, because I see so many, 60 to 70-year-olds taking care of their grandchildren. It'd be great to have an activity to go to, another activity to go to.
Ideas
Just-
too.
That's so wonderful. I told
Story
you.
hour or?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, maybe
Music for
piggyback
45
on like
minutes?
some of the things that they do at the library, just kind of bring it over here.
And then
but-
we suck
and
them in.
Spin it to like grandparents and grandkids.
We had in past summers, we've had because we were trying to get those older adults who were taking care of their grandchildren. So we had a movie in July and August that was geared towards like a younger crowd, and then the grandparents we were hoping would take them in. So we could certainly do that in August, and we can work with the library to see if there's any. I know that there's been talk. There are a lot more than I expected, and they don't come here. I think that's mostly with the schools, but grandparents raising grandchildren, and that's another niche of
It
of
sure
a population
is.
that I think we're going to go down that route and try to attract that crowd and maybe give them some more support.
Yeah.
So that's something that's in my thought process.
Yeah, maybe some kind of like
Safe harbor or
a
something
coffee
on that.
support group. or something. That's a
Oh,
good
that's a
idea.
great idea.
You could do that with a babysitter. And so that, they could play in the one room and the grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I'm just sort of bouncing off to encompass another age group, another level of age group and still, but obviously senior oriented.
Yeah.
I think if you can get the 60 and 70-year-olds, you're gonna increase your population as time goes on. So
Right.
that's why I was thinking of the kids that will maybe ultimately be in middle school and then high school and then be familiar with Wilcott and that knitting that you've done with this, I think is great. So just an idea, but have a wonderful, wonderful summer, and I look forward to seeing you in September.
We look forward to having you back, Sue.
Bye, Sue.
Thank you
Bye,
very
Sue.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sue.
Well, we got an idea. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Just right off the top of your head. Rich, how about you?
Well, I'm all set. Air conditioned bocce court.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
We did
Top it
actually
up.
purchase some canopies, so we will be able to give you guys some
Oh.
shade
Oh,
back.
neat.
Yeah.
We
There you
keep
go, that's
moving the
air
benches
conditioning.
into the trees.
Yeah, so we thought of that, so we'll definitely have those up and running for you for
Thank you.
Tuesday.
That's great.
The beer tap is next.
Yes, exactly. They bring their own.
How did these mahjong lessons go this time?
We didn't get that many. I think it was 3 or 4. I'm
Yeah.
not sure of the exact amount, which is unfortunate because I think that there's a demand for it, but they just have not been
Yeah,
big response
well,
to it.
I just know a lot of people went over to Hingham as soon as they opened. I mean,
Yeah.
Situate when they opened, so maybe once people get back from vacation, or not, I don't know, but I'm glad at least you have some more of that to come.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, another
that's
table's
even-
another table, so.
Exactly. The more we can get, the more they'll keep coming.
And we have we're getting a more diverse group. Not just Cohasset. I mean, somebody came and then somebody brought a friend from Situate and that kind of thing. So it does spread around.
Well, I keep kidding about the bocce, but there's a lot of people who play bocce that never used the center before. And now they're coming for lunches,
Good.
cribbage, so it's sort of
Yeah.
fun. But
Yeah.
these are people that I've never seen here before, but they're regulars at bocce.
Perfect. Perfect.
I just want to bring up one thing. I just got a text that Karen, apparently we all see from Friends, wasn't at the meeting, but she wanted to report that she is donating, Friends are going to be donating Nonas for the Lobster Fest that we're having in August. So
Oh, how
that'll be a
nice.
great little treat
Is
to have.
donating what?
That
Nona's
Nona's
ice
ice
cream.
cream.
Oh,
Yeah, so it would be a great luncheon, I think.
And we are-
11th, I believe.
And we are lobster rolls again. We're not
They are
mixing with
lobster
some
rolls.
fake food. I paid for lobster, but I get bologna and cheese.
No
That will
bologna and
not
cheese.
happen.
All right,
That
good.
never happened.
Promise no bologna.
Or
and
mystery
cheese.
fish.
Mystery fish, yeah.
Well, is that it, people? I just wanted, I did mention that Diana had been sick, but she was home and on the mend. And so I wished her well from all of us.
Great.
We'll see you in September.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, okay.
See you in September.
That's good.
We still need a second.
Second that.
Second.
Bye.
Yeah.
Happy summer.
Summer.
Yeah, see you in September.
Okay.